Today we're talking a little bit of Facebook stuff. We're talking about the different ad objectives that you have when you do a boosted post on Facebook, when you do a sponsored post on Facebook. So I was just doing some new agent training yesterday, and one of the things I was telling them is that when anybody does an ad, I kind of tell them there are sort of 3 questions you should ask yourself, and I wonder if I can even pull them up fast enough before doing an ad, because the pro of Facebook ads is that they're pretty easy to do to get going. The con is that because of that, we sometimes don't always think it through, and we just boost things for the sake of boosting to kind of get an ad out there and hope that that works. But we really need to make sure we're thinking through what we're advertising. So here are, I think it's going to do the wrong screen, but you guys can, yeah, let me share the right screen because my silly little, here we go. So there are 3 questions, and this is both for agents and for our office ads, that I like to have us kind of think through. And they're not something you need to fill out. They're not things you need to write down, but things that I want us to always think through. So the first question is, what are my goals? What are my business goals? What am I trying to achieve with this advertisement? The second question is, what does success look like? How will I know if this was a good or bad or underperforming ad? You don't need to have a very direct bar for what that is. Sometimes it's just I want them to perform as well as my last ad. Sometimes it's I want to get 10 or 15 leads from this. Sometimes it's just I want the cost per click, or I want to reach this many people. Having some version of success will let you know how things perform. I've had agents tell me before, like, Facebook doesn't work. Like I did an ad and it didn't work, and I go, okay, well, what does that mean? It didn't work. What do you mean when you say that? Like, it didn't reach the people you wanted it to, or you didn't get the results you thought you would? Because it didn't work does not have a bar of success. So the third and final question, the one that we're going to focus on today, is what format best serves this purpose? What is the best way for me to achieve what I'm trying to do? So what I want to look at in terms of that specific question is the options that we have when we're boosting different kinds of posts on Facebook. So I have 2 posts that are preloaded here onto my test page. I've got a video right here. I'll play it. You can see there's a video ad from the brand. And then underneath it, I've got a listing. This is something that we do a lot, especially on our office pages, but I know our agents do too. It is just a listing from our Moxie website that I want to put out in the market. So I'm going to use these 2 different examples because they both have 2 different objectives with what I'm trying to accomplish with them. So looking at this first post right here, this is just an advert, a listing, right? My goal for this is that I want people to see this and click on it and go to the landing page for this listing. I want them to go to my website and see more information on it. And maybe, if they feel inclined, click to call me or email me or get in touch with me. But my main goal is I want to drive traffic to this website. So when we click on Boost Post down here, we're going to see a few options. So I don't want to spend, because we only have 12 minutes, I don't want to spend time going through every part of boosting an ad. We've got guides on Schmidt resources that go through that, and of course if you ever have questions you can always reach out and we can kind of go through it. But the one thing I do always want to stress before we get into the meat of this is the special ad category. Just another reminder, any sort of real estate related ad, no matter the topic, has to have special ad category turned on and has to choose housing. You have to choose housing. If you don't turn this on and choose housing, the ad will get rejected. And I see this happen every once in a while because I get emails from all of our ad accounts if something gets rejected. And most of the time I love it because I see it come through, the ad gets rejected, and then I see it come through a few minutes later working. So I see you guys are kind of like, oh shoot, I forgot to do that. But if you ever have an issue with an ad, always check that. But what I want to focus on are these top 2 buttons right here, the goal and the button. So if you look at the goal is what results would you like from this ad? This is exactly what that third question is. What is the best format to achieve your results? So as you can see, Facebook has an automatic option. Now, Facebook's basically like, okay, we're going to choose what we think is going to be best for your ad, and we're going to tailor it that way. I used to love this automatic option, and then maybe in January or February, they started making some changes, and now, honestly, I am not a big fan, and I don't ever use the automatic option. I always go to change right here, and they're going to give you a few different options here. So we're going to go through these really kind of rapid fire. There are little explanations under each one, but I want to go through them rapid fire here. So number one here is get more messages. If I were to choose this, what you're going to see is that there's going to be, as it edits here, there's a send message button right here on my ad. So if somebody clicks on that from their mobile device, Messenger is going to pop up, and they're going to be able to send me a Facebook message right to my business page, and I'll get an alert. Now that sounds great because that's a direct, lead essentially, someone reaching out for information. The only thing to keep in mind is that the cost per message can be pretty high. It can be anywhere between $4 to $10. So if you do a $30 ad, you might only get 3 or 4 messages, if that. It's not a bad thing. It's just something to keep in mind. But also, when we go back to what my goal is with this ad, my goal is I want people to click on this ad and go to the website. That goal does not match with send message. Those are different objectives. So I'm not going to choose send message. So I'm going to go back up here to change. We're going to go to get more engagement. That's the second one. Get more engagement means I don't care if they click on it, if they comment, if they share, if they react. I just want people to see it and do something with it. Whether that is like it or heart it or comment or share or click or message, anything. I want them to do anything. And that sounds nice, again, because we want people to, we like when our posts have a lot of likes. We like when people comment on our posts. But the question goes back to, is that a good business objective? Just because somebody likes a post doesn't mean that they're clicking on the website or that they're contacting me or that they're interested. So get more engagement's not a bad option, but again, it's about knowing the timing of what you're trying to do and what makes sense. We're going to go back to get more website visitors because, spoiler alert, that's what we're going to do. So get more leads is something that it's a Facebook lead form where people can fill out information on Facebook. Now, I'd be careful about this one because this is a newer option within Boosted Posts, and it has been kind of glitchy for the past couple of months. So I've been staying away from it on this portion because when I've tried to do it, it hasn't really worked smoothly. And then there's also the matter of dispersing the lead. So I'd be careful with that one. And then finally, get more calls. So if I do get more calls, what you're going to see is there's going to be a call now button on my post instead of send message, learn more, anything like that. And if someone clicks on that, it's going to bring up the option for them to call my phone number right there. And I can change the number there if I want to. But it's going to bring up their phone app. They don't have to memorize the number, copy and paste. It just says call, and now I can start calling this person and talk to them. Now, again, this is the same thing as send message, where it is hard. The cost per call can be pretty high. One thing I would recommend if you or an agent ever use this, ask somebody if they call you where they got your information. I had an agent run an ad fairly recently with a call now button, and they said that during that time period, they're like, oh, I definitely felt like I got more calls, and I answered every single one, but they never actually asked them, oh, by the way, is there, where did you find my information, or how did you find my phone number? And if you don't ask that question, you don't know how successful it was. Because if you got 15 calls over the week, all 15 of those could have come from Facebook, or 0 of them could have come from Facebook. But if you don't ask that question, you're not going to know. So if you ever do call now, make sure you ask people when they're calling you, hey, where did you find my information? How did you get in touch with me? But finally, we're going to go back to change, and we're going to go on get more website visitors. Because again, my goal is to get people to click on my website and look at my listing. And this objective literally says, show your ad to people who are likely to click on a URL, which is the link. So I'm going to click save. That's what I want to do. Now, even though I changed my objective, it still has the call now button, which is problematic. We want to make sure we change that because calling and clicking are different things. So I've set my goal. The next thing I'm going to do is change my button from call now to any of these. Book now, learn more, shop now, sign up, get directions, send message, call now. A bunch of options here for that button. But again, I'm going to choose learn more because my goal is to get people to click, which I've said a few times now, so don't need to be too repetitive. But now looking at this, I've got my link right here, and I say click below to learn more, and then I have a learn more button right there. So if anybody clicks anywhere on this ad, they're going to learn more. They're going to be able to click on it and go to the website, which is exactly what I want to do. So that's the bulk of it. I want to show you another example with a video ad because there are going to be different options when you do a video ad. Do you have to set these every time? Yes, Julie, you do. Like I said, they always set to the automatic. I don't recommend doing the automatic. So for me, it's a matter of, when I do an ad, I click get more website visitors. I go to learn more, and then I keep scrolling and doing it. Sometimes if you check, they will kind of pre-save it if you do it enough times. So you'll come and you'll go, okay, cool. They've already got website visitors. They already got learn more. So they might start to pre-save it, but I've had kind of hit or miss experiences with that part of it. So I'm going to go out of here and do that differently. I'm going to go up here now to this video ad because uploading a video, as I'm sure you can tell, looks a lot different than doing a listing. So I've got the link here, I've got the listing, but when I do the video, you've got an autoplay video going here. So they're different ad formats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Boost Post here, and you're going to see that if I go, see again, it's set to automatic, which again, I'm going to change that. When I go to change, I'm going to have different options here. Because with a video ad, there are different objectives. My goal here is I want people to watch my video. This is a branding ad. I want people to see my name, see my brokerage, and watch my video on Facebook. So you'll see a few of the same options, get more messages, get more leads, and get more calls, but you'll see a new one here that was not present earlier, get more video views. Show your ad to people who are likely to watch your video. That's exactly what I want to do. I'm going to click Save. Now, even though that's my goal, I still can have a button right here. And my button can be Learn More. And I can link people to my website. Or my button can be Send Message or Call Now. You can put whatever button you want down there. The thing to keep in mind, though, is that the goal of this ad is to get people to watch your video. So even though you have a button here for people to click on, that is not the primary objective of this ad, and that will not be the primary result that you get from it. So I just say that to say, I've had people do, well, I did a video ad, but I only got like 30 clicks to the website. Well, that's kind of how it's meant to work. That's what that ad's supposed to look like. If I show you an example actually on the luxury page here for one of our Homes of the Week campaigns that we have running, that's exactly what you're going to see. So when I go down here to the Home of the Week right here, whoops, there, that's the big Home of the Week. If I go to the results, you're going to see, if the results pop up here in a second, almost 10,000 people have been reached so far. Almost 2,600 of them have watched the video for longer than I think either 15 or 30 seconds. But if you look at this stat right here, engagement on Facebook, 139 people have clicked on the ad, the listing to look at the listing. So we've got 8,000 video views, but only 130 link clicks. Now, some people might go, okay, well, 130 out of 8,000, that's not a lot. Well, that's not what the ad is made to do, and the fact that we got over 130 clicks so far is actually really great, because that's like a bonus. People loved the video so much, they wanted to see the listing even more. So this is just kind of an actual example of what that looks like. This link clicks and these shares, those are sort of secondary additional objectives that are great that they are happening, but it's not the purpose of the ad. So my main thing that I wanted to share today is making sure that what we're trying to achieve matches with how we're creating the ad. Most of the time from our office pages, we want to do get more web traffic and learn more, because we're trying to send people to our agents' listings, to our websites and stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, that's what we're going to do. But I do see us, and I love it, I do see our office pages uploading videos from listings and doing ads that way. And I want to make sure that when we do those things that we're aligning the objectives the right way. Do I recommend the office ASCs to use Moxie or L2L to create the Facebook ad? That's a great question, Laura. So do I recommend that we use the Moxie websites or listings to leads to do ads on the office page? My cop-out answer is either of them are viable and good options. My real question is, if you're going to do listings to leads, when you do a listings to leads post, that has lead generation built into it. And it's going to ask people to fill out the information before they can see the listing. That's great. I'm a big fan of it. The one thing I'll say is you and your manager then at the office level need to make sure you have a method of dispersing those leads. So we've had some offices do it where, the ASC will check every once in a while and give the leads from the past 3 hours or maybe 8 hours to whoever's on floor at that moment. So that's one way to do it. But what I don't want to see happen is us using listings to leads, generating leads, and then just letting them sit there in the account. Because then then we're wasting their time because they're filling out of lead info and then we're not reaching out to them, and our agents aren't kind of getting the leads from it. So if we're just doing traffic-based ads, I always prefer using CB Schmidt Ohio, CB Great Lakes, and CB Florida Homes. It's great for the websites. It's great for our agents because their name and info is right there next to the listing. So that's sort of my default. Although if on an office level you're trying to generate a few more leads, that listings to leads is, of course, a very viable option too. So I know it was kind of a little bit of a heavier topic than we normally have, a little bit more in depth. I know that we're a minute over, so if you guys have other questions, please write them in. I want to go one more time just to show you the two sections that we looked at today. When you've got a post on your business page and you click Boost Post, what we were looking at are these top two boxes. What is my goal? And what button am I putting on my ad to achieve that goal? So most of the time when we're doing listing ads, if we're doing articles, if we're doing anything where we're getting someone to try to click or trying to get somebody to click to go to another website, we're going to change it from automatic to get more website visitors. And then we're going to click from book now or send, most of the time, honestly, send message is the default button. So there's a good chance you'll see it say send message. We're going to change it from that to learn more. And now our ad is formatted to achieve the goal that we want it to achieve. And then, of course, we turn on special ad category, go to housing, pick our audience, pick our duration, our budget, and boom shakalaka.